We all want to be successful in this life, whether that's in business, love, health, finances, or whatever else you want to fill in the blank with. The issue isn't in desire, it's in the execution. We don't know what it takes to succeed, or if we do, we don't have a plan to follow. But worry not, there's someone out there who has all the answers to all of our problems. And that's someone who has been there, done that, and is willing to help bring you along the way. And I'm talking about having a mentor. And in this video, I'll be breaking down what is a mentor, why you need one, and what to look for when searching for one. So, what is a mentor? A mentor is defined as a trusted counselor or guide, according to Merriam-Webster. But basically, they are someone who is further along than you in whatever aspect of life that you need a mentor for. But honestly, mentors are more than just some counselor or guide. They are trusted friends who will go above and beyond to help you out, and vice versa. Because again, friendships are two-way streets, right? But we have to be careful though, because some people who claim to be, gurus or experts could potentially only be interested in exploiting you or just taking advantage of you. That's not always the case, but it is a possibility that I think everyone should be wary of. Now, I'm sure some of you may be thinking that I don't need nobody else telling me what to do, or I'm my own boss and I'm going to do things my own way. And this is okay. Maybe you don't really need a mentor or some type of guru or teacher or whatever, but allow me to give you some reasons as to why you might want one. So the first thing is that mentorship is honestly the best way to shorten your learning curve. It's the quickest way to get from where you are now to where you want to be. And that's because mentors have already done what you're trying to do. I mean, after all, the whole point of finding one is to find someone who's already done what you want to do. But don't think of it as some type of cheat code, but really more of a strategy guide to success. They're not gonna give you, the winning formula, but more like a kind of like a blueprint, so you can make up your own while leaving out all of the mistakes that they've already made. But now I believe that you should have a mentor for every single part of your life, or at least the ones that you want to improve in. And for me personally, the areas I need to improve in are, my faith, fitness, YouTube, business, learning Spanish, being able to speak and communicate effectively anyway, relationships, my family and friends, and all the things, everything that I find important in my life. Now, all this may sound fine and dandy, but don't forget, your mentor is human too. And now they aren't perfect, but they can definitely make your journey a lot easier. But not as easy as hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel, where you'll find a lot more content just like this. So maybe you've decided that you want to have a mentor in some area of your life. So now what? Well, first you have to decide if you are truly ready to be taught. And I say this because if you're anything like me, you say that you are teachable and that you want to improve, but the minute someone gives you some type of constructive criticism or advice, then you're just up in arms. You're just angry and how dare you say these things, and you don't know anything about me, and you get really defensive. Or maybe it's that sometimes your laziness and fear of failure is what's keeping you from finding a mentor in the first place, because you think that you can't make it, that you can't do it, so why even bother? Well, the key to both of these is this: being a disciple requires humility. You have to be willing to humble yourself and admit that you need help and that you can't do it alone. And honestly, with God as my witness, boy, I'm still struggling with this to this day. I'm getting better, but I still have a lot more room to improve. And honestly, I've just seen it work too many times to not give it a try, this whole mentorship thing. So who can be your mentor? Well, the way I look at it is that you need to find someone who you can honestly view as family, like almost like a big brother or a big sister type of a relationship. They aren't your parent, but they're someone who you trust enough to have some type of authority over you. I mean, they can speak over you and into your life, and you'll just listen to them with no questions asked. But not really like a dictator, but again, it's someone who's really trusted. And honestly, there's some iconic examples of this whole dynamic. The first one I like to think about is Piccolo and Gohan from Dragon Ball Z. Now, everyone knows that Piccolo was pretty much a father to Gohan as much as Goku is. And this is because of the time they spent together training when Gohan was just a kid. And honestly, even though their relationship started off kind of rocky, with Piccolo being, the former Demon King Piccolo and evil and all this jazz, he grew to be someone that Gohan can trust his life with. Not just his life, but the life of his daughter. And honestly, they both have grown and transformed each other in various ways. And the next example of this I want to give is actually Jiraiya and Naruto from Naruto. Now, Jiraiya went from being this pervy sage who spied on women for his research for his novels to a pervy sage who Naruto actually respects pretty much the most out of anybody he's ever met. And the impact Jiraiya had on Naruto is very similar to the one Piccolo has on Gohan, where both mentors become integral parts of their disciples' lives and pretty much sculpting them into the young men that they end up becoming. And now this last example is a little more recent and not as long, but it's still as impactful in the way I see it. And that's Nanami and Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen. And again, they're a little more recent than the previous examples, and they honestly have the shortest time span together. But I want to illustrate the fact that you don't have to have a whole bunch of time together for your mentor to have an impact on you. I mean, Nanami, in the short time he was with Yuji, helped Yuji to understand that being a jujitsu sorcerer isn't all glamorous. It's very much a serious profession. But beyond that, he taught him from the practical skills like, understanding the risk that it takes to be a jujitsu sorcerer and how to understand the dangers that come with a job. And honestly, just to accept those things and be able to move on quickly. And there's a whole bunch of other things that I can kind of go into, but those are the main things I want to highlight for Yuji and Nanami. Now, these are the types of relationships that I honestly want to cultivate in my own life. But, honestly, sometimes all you really need is someone who just keeps you from making stupid decisions, if we're just being honest. Now, finding a mentor is all about finding someone who has the skill set, habits, mindset, or whatever else you want, and who is willing to teach you. Now, this is a two-way street because, again, this is a relationship. You won't be the only one who is receiving some type of value. More often than not, they are also going to learn a thing or two from you, just as much as you learn from them. But the basis for all of this is building a relationship first and foremost. And if you need help meeting someone or just not sure where to look, you can join my Discord server using the link in the description to meet like-minded individuals who want to improve themselves and honestly just want to have a better life. Now, don't hesitate, get out there and own your story.